Understanding the nature of your possessions. Anyone who lives on this planet has possessions. It's nearly impossible to survive without having anything to your name. We all have possessions that cover our basic necessities. But when does stuff start to become too much? Why do we buy the things that we need, and why do we have so much of it? Do we need this much stuff? Socrates once said, "The secret to man's happiness is not to be found in seeking more, but rather in developing the ability to enjoy less," a philosophy that essentialists and minimalists alike have adopted and embrace wholeheartedly. When was the last time you stopped to take a good look at your possessions and ask yourself if you have a clutter problem? If you were to look around right now at everything that you have in your home, does it make you feel overwhelmed? Are you suffocated, perhaps? Like there's too much going on and you have no room to breathe? Answer yes to any of these questions, and that means you've got a clutter problem on your hands. Another side effect of overconsumption and living in a consumerist-driven society. If you have to move several things out of your way just to get one thing done, you have a clutter problem. If you can never seem to find what you need quickly, you've got a clutter problem. If you're always losing stuff around your home, only to have it turn up later in a different location, you've got a clutter problem. And if you have more than a few items around your home that you haven't touched in years, you definitely have a clutter problem. Clutter can stress you out more than you may think. Accumulating too many possessions, which then collectively create a disorderly and chaotic living environment, is one way of describing clutter, and this chaos in turn leaves an impact on your emotional well-being. In a study which was published in Current Psychology, there was substantial evidence which showed the link between clutter and procrastination, and this was across all age groups, not just limited to a specific age group alone. The frustration which was brought on by a cluttered environment also increased with age, as the research revealed. In fact, clutter has become such a problem in our society today that it has birthed a whole new occupation: professional organizers. Yes, we're now hiring people to come to our homes and clear out the mess for us because we're too overwhelmed to deal with it ourselves. Clutter, as California-based professional organizer Lynn Gilberg states, causes people to become unproductive and non-functional, and out of desperation, they bring in the professional organizers to do something about their mess. Aside from the mental strain of having to always look at the mess you're surrounded with, clutter can pose other health problems. Items gathering mold, dust, and animal dander trigger asthma and allergies. And having too much stuff around your home is a potential fire hazard on top of that. Peter Walsh, author of "Does This Clutter Make My Butt Look Fat?" pointed out the correlation between having too much stuff and how those that deal with the clutter problem also dealt with excess weight issues. Having possessions is fine, but having too much is a problem. Some of the common negative side effects associated with too much clutter include higher stress levels. A study which appeared in the Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin revealed that those who lived in cluttered homes were found to be more easily fatigued, depressed, and had higher levels of cortisol, which is the hormone associated with stress, compared to those who lived in more minimalist homes. Consistent levels of high cortisol resulted in other health problems associated with chronic stress, and some health issues could be so severe that they posed a very real mortality risk. Respiratory problems. Alliance for Healthy Homes shed light on the fact that cluttered homes contained more dust than homes that were uncluttered. This dust was responsible for the increase in respiratory problems and breathing difficulties faced by those who had to deal with this mess every day. The greater the mess, the greater the accumulation of dust, which, aside from the respiratory issues it could trigger, also presents an ideal breeding ground for dust mites and other pests. You become isolated. An interesting finding by Russell Research when they carried out the Rubbermaid survey was how nearly half of the homeowners they surveyed admitted that they would not invite people over to their homes if they had a clutter problem. A safety hazard. According to San Francisco's Mental Health Association,